Just going to take a look at our little worm farm here. We did this last May. It's January right now, so we've had it for I guess almost a year now. We started out with 2 dozen worms. I think initially we, for the first several months, we bought the occasional dozen worms just to use for fishing. But since then, they seem to be flourishing and reproducing a lot. I don't think we bought worms in probably since last summer for fishing. So let's open this up and take a look. All we used is a cheap styrofoam container. I guess you could use like a Rubbermaid type container if you wanted to, but we use a styrofoam, and we just leave it on the floor of the garage, and it seems to stay really like moist, and worms are doing okay. So we filled the inside with potting soil, and just put two dozen worms, like I said, in it to start. And every week or so, we just use some of our scraps from our kitchen to feed the worms. You can find stuff online about food that you're not supposed to feed the worms, but we kind of stick to mainly lettuce. Coffee grounds are a good thing for the worms, as well as occasional strawberries. They like the stems and the scraps. So let's take a look here. It's fairly cold outside, and the floor is kind of cool in the corner, so the worms kind of hunker down right now, but I can see a couple in here right now. So yeah, this guy here, I mean, that's probably a couple months old, that worm. It's probably maybe about 2 inches long. We'll see if we can find some other ones in here. Actually, there's another one right here. They're all about the same size, so it's kind of fun for the kids to watch our worms grow and kind of measure them and see how long it takes them to grow. So, I mean, the more you kind of dig in here, the more worms you can find. Maybe there's a big guy right there. He's trying to crawl away on me. That's a bigger guy, so that's probably been growing in there since last fall at least. So that one's probably maybe 4 or 5 inches. So like I say, they seem to really thrive in this. Occasionally we add a little water just to the soil to make it moist, but not very often so far. I think we've only done that maybe once, maybe twice in the last year even in here. So just the humidity of leaving the styrofoam container on the cement floor and adding the scraps and the food here seem to work out well. What we'll do too is occasionally, I think we've done it once, we've added just some fresh dirt to the container. We've just taken it out and kind of exchanged it. So this stuff here is like a nice topsoil. We bought that from a landscaping. Oh, there's a chunky guy. Look at that. That guy's even really big. Fish would think he's delicious. Look how big that guy is. That's a pretty good sized worm. I think our worm farm is a success. What do you think, Duke?
He's gonna eat it.
He won't eat the worm.
Oops.
I think in the springtime, once it warms up a little bit outside, we're going to make a second worm farm. So we'll do a video on that. And we will make some kind of shelf that goes underneath the workbench so we can kind of stack them out of the way. Who knows, maybe we'll get into the worm business and start selling worms. Look at a big guy. This guy's huge. I think that's almost a record-sized worm for us. Bye. Goes to show you the size difference in the worms here. Look at that. We got one little guy there, and we got this guy right here. So One important thing here to remember is you need some kind of way to securely fasten the lid down to the container itself. Well, we forgot that, or didn't think it was necessary at first. So what happened is all the worms, they're like little magicians, and they all crawl out the top and they snuck out onto the floor. So now what we do to prevent that is we have the lid kind of held down, and we have a bungee cord just kind of fastened underneath it, just over top, just to make sure that the worms can't kind of get out, or make sure that the dogs can't get in there. So